Welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to do a saltwater soap and Lauren's going to go through the ingredients.
So for our water and lye solution, we have water and lye crystals. Then for our oils, we have coconut oil, castor, sunflower, and olive oil. For our fat, we have cocoa or shea butter. And since this is a soap, we have salt. And this is just regular table salt. For our scents, we're using peppermint and lavender. And to color our soap white, we're using titanium dioxide. And I have been informed that this is because fat is not white. So this will make your soap white. You can omit it if you choose.
So if you like this video, obviously like and subscribe. So let's get started. So here we're adding our shea butter. So what we've done is we've put our pot right on the scale, and then now we're zeroing it out to add our coconut oil. So next we're zeroing it out and adding our olive oil. Zeroing it out again to go ahead and add our sunflower oil. And our castor oil. So we've zeroed it out again. In a new pot, we've added our distilled water. Then we've put on our safety gloves to go ahead and measure out the lye that will be used. One item we did forget to measure out was our salt, but we'll add that later. And then here we're measuring out our essential oils. So now we are melting the butters as well as the oils in there. And just breaking down those chunks. Here we've added the salt to the distilled water, and we're just mixing it in there to dissolve it within the water. And now we're adding our lye. Now always make sure you wear safety equipment when you're using lye, as it can burn your skin. So we're checking the temperatures, and here we want to get it to an even temperature with both the lye and the oil. So now we're adding the lye and oils together because they've reached that right temperature to be mixed. We're using an emulsion blender to mix them together. And as you can see, it's kind of got this yellowy look to it. I guess kind of an off-white yellow look. This is because of the shea butters as well as the olive oil provide that color to it. Now we're trying to go for more of a white color, so we're adding scoops of titanium dioxide to get to that white color. I'm going to apologize for the glitches throughout this video. I'm using Adobe Premiere Rush to edit this video, and for whatever reason it's creating glitches. I used just Adobe Premiere historically when I had the trial version, and I never had this issue. And I've reached out to Adobe support for help, but that's besides the point. Here we're adding our essential oils in. Now, one of the things that we did with this soap is obviously we're blending it together to get to trace. However, we did blend it a bit too much, so it turned out to be a bit thicker for when we were pouring it into the molds. It still worked out, but we do like it to bring it to trace where it's a bit less clumpy. It's just easier to pour, and for us results in a bit better soap, just when it's not as, when it's a bit more liquidy. So we've got our 2 molds here. We actually ended up using 3 that we had a line afterwards, just because we thought this would only fill 2. And this is a half-cut PVC pipe mold that's lined with freezer paper, as well as a full PVC pipe. Here we're adding our funnel so that it just pours in easier. And then you'll see how it's a bit more clumpy than we would normally like our soaps to be. We always double our soap batches, as well as we tend to we do 2 different soaps when we do our soap making. So if we pick a Sunday, we'll do 2 soaps and their batches are both doubled. So this one yielded 2 1/4 PVC pipe molds worth of soap. I should really go down and count the bars that we have, and that would probably give a better understanding. But I guess like the thickness, how you cut it would vary, and that's up to you. We added a cap to the bottom of the half-cut PVC pipe. We did have it lined on the bottom for that one already. The reason why we added the cap is because it was wet in the sink, so we didn't want that freezer paper to get wet. The original reason why we lined the bottom of it was the half-cut PVC pipe doesn't really fit well with the cap. So it's just easier to have it lined on the bottom than use a cap. But with the thickness of the freezer paper and the cap kind of secures it on there. So we've actually had these sit 24 hours overnight. We had it covered with a towel so that it wouldn't cool down as quickly. And now we're just going to take them out of the molds. So this is the half-cut PVC mold where we're just undoing those ring clamps so that we can open up the mold. And here it goes. It's easy peasy. I'm a big fan of the half-cut mold just because it's easier to get out and doesn't require additional effort, but that's not always the case to have it cut. For the full PVC pipe and with the cap, we use a hammer to knock off the cap bottom. We find that's the easiest for us. I do know some soap makers go and they'll freeze the PVC pipe to help get the soap out. They typically do this because it's unlined. For us, we line it just so it's easier to push out. So we've gotten it out of the pipe. So here we're cutting it with our pizza cutter. We just like the grooves on our soap. That's why we're using this type of cutter. Also, we already had it at home. And then you'll see after we've cut all of our pieces, we're gonna add some alcohol to reduce the soda ash that can happen when you are curing soap. So you'll see that in a second or two. Here comes the spray. So if you've liked this video, obviously like and subscribe, and have a great day. Thank you.